we planted seeds, sometimes I would think when they grow that they are weeds, but no. Jeremy showed me that they're not weeds. It's the plant that's growing. He'll point out what the weeds are. Jeremy, he's the one that's very good at working with plants. Where corn grows, there's no weed, or no weeds. But it's hard to tell whenever plants start growing. Sometimes weeds and wheat, they look the same. And this is what we should just go ahead and let them grow together. And this is the same thing that's happening in the story, the parable. The farmer's just letting the wheat and the tares grow together. Don't worry about it. Here's some words from this story. Who's the sower? Jesus is the sower. The good seed is the people who receive the word and are saved. The weed represent those who are growing in the Lord, and the enemy represents the devil. How do I know these answers? Let's jump to Matthew chapter 13, verses 34 to 42. Verse 36 through 42. Verse 36, it says this. Then Jesus sent the multitude away and went into the house, and his disciples came unto him, saying, Declare unto us a parable of tares in the field. Jesus told this parable to the multitude, and the people, after they heard it, they laughed. But the disciples, they didn't understand what the difference between the tares and the seed. So after the multitude was sent away, they came to Jesus and they asked, hey, we don't understand what the point of the tares and the wheat. What does this all mean? What's the point? And Jesus goes ahead in these next verses and explains what's going on. It's the same thing with in church. We hear the preaching of God's word, and many of us hear it, but most of us will leave. But others, there is only a small number of them, will go and ask what the verses mean, and they want to learn more. And they study the Word of God, and they study what was being preached. But mostly everybody will just hear everything and they leave. But really, it should be like, everybody should be like, somebody should keep on preaching and not all night long. So we can learn more. They want to see Jesus, but it's not going to be, what's the difference? We have the Bible, we have the Holy Spirit, we have a preacher, and we want to learn more. But most people, they just want to learn the surface of what's being said and then move on. verse 37, he says this, and he answered and said unto them, He that soweth the good seed is the Son of Man. The field is the world, and the good seed are the children of the kingdom. But the tares are the children of the wicked one. The enemy that soweth them is the devil. The harvest is the end of the world, and the reapers are the angels. As therefore the tares are gathered and burned in the fire, so shall it be in the end of this world. The Son of Man shall send forth his angels, and they shall gather out from his kingdom all things that offend, and them which do iniquity. And shall cast them into the furnace of fire, and there shall be wailing and gnashing of teeth. Harvest is another word we find in this parable. Reapers. The sower represents Jesus. The good seed is the people who are saved, but they still live here on the earth. The wheat, it represents those who are growing in the Lord. The enemy is the devil. The devil doesn't like the wheat, the good people, the Christians. So he wants the world, the people in the world, to be intermingling with the Christians. Many times today we find that we see people they say they're Christians, but they're not. They say they're saved, but they're not saved. I even asked some people who are, they say they are, but they're not. God, He wants people those who are Christians to live differently. And those who are not, He wants to know what the difference are. We want to know what the difference are. But really that's not so. Everybody, the Christians and the unsaved are still intermingling with each other. They live together. We can't really know. We can't really tell the difference. At the harvest, it will happen. The same thing. The farmer, he will go with the workers and separate the bulbs from the true, the wheat from the tares. I've learned something, that wheat is heavy and chaff is light. A worker will throw it in a basket, the wheat into the air, and the wind will take away the chaff away because it's bulk. It's not real wheat. And the wheat will fall back into the basket and be gathered and used for food. I remember in Germany where I've seen farmers, they have a harvest every year. And they gather, they do it the old-fashioned way with a sickle, and they gather in their wheat. I asked the farmer one time, what do you do when how do you separate the wheat from the chaff? Sometimes they use clothing, sometimes they use a machine, sometimes they use the wind. When it's windy, of course, they'll use the wind. The wheat, they'll shape the wheat, and the wind will drive the chaff away. And they'll later on make bread out of that wheat. The reapers are the angels. At the end of the world, this is not talking about the rapture. This is talking about the end of the world. When Jesus, after his 1,000-year reign, and the angels will gather those who are not saved, and God will tell the difference between, and we will one day with God know the difference between those who are false and those who are true. It's God knows. Jesus is telling the disciples here in this story, I'm teaching you this right now. But one day when I'm gone, there will be people who they say they're Christians, but they're not. We can't be like only Christians only. No, we have to intermingle for fellowship with those who are not Christians. If there's anyone that is like who doesn't want it, who is not a Christian, and they godly say so, or the Bible say so, yeah, we should stay away from them. Here's some words that I want to ecumenical. Ecumenical means those who are working together. It doesn't matter if I'm Baptist, Lutheran, Catholic, we accept everybody. This is the WCC, the World Church of Christ. I think that's what it means. The World Church of Christ. It's where everybody meets together in fellowship with one another. Recently, in the year 2012, Romney was running for president. And everybody knows that Mormonism is a cult. Everybody knows that. But until after 2012, many Christians, they said that Mormons are accepted. They're part of the body of Christ. They're a religion. Many of these Christians, it's very shocking that many of these Christians are saying that because they want to support it. And they do this because they want to support Romney. They say that Mormonism is part of Christianity. Muslims, and now Muslims, they're different than Christianity. They're not the same thing. But pretty soon, more and more Muslims are becoming, and Christians are being together. And it's getting harder to know who's saved and who's not. There are some people I met that are, you can easily tell if they're Christians or not. There's some I don't know. I can ask them and find out if they are, but I can't ask everybody. There's TV, there's internet, and many of those people that are on these, on the television or the radio. Remember this man, there's a man named Joel Osteen. He talked that the doctrines were all wrong, and he made it look like it was Christian, but it was not. I even looked on his website, like on Larry, and about what he said, like on Larry King Live, and he made it look like he was tricking people. So he made it look like what he believes be like a Christian. We should not be like that. We should be, there was a man that's, or a woman that went up, who was in an airport, and somebody poured coffee on her dress, and she got burned. We shouldn't be like that lady that became very angry. In this story, the parable, we should be careful. This teaches us that we should be careful who is saved and who's not. We should always ask people. Maybe sometimes we'll doubt them, and we'll ask them about verses, but they'll say they've been baptized, and if they still persist, we just leave them alone. The wheat and the tares. The wheat represents those who are growing, and the tares are really they're weeds. We can look here. There's like this. It blooms, but it's green, and it represents a weed. But the wheat, it grows taller and taller, and it shows that you have fruit on this wheat. And you're able to separate later on when harvest comes the tares from the wheat. And above all, Jesus knows who's saved, who's not. People can fool us, and the Bible says that my sheep know my voice. They know who I am. Some people, they can say, I am part of him, but they're not. God knows who. We can be with them, but they're not really Christian. It's God who knows who's his and who's not his. story to the disciples. And because one day they'll go outside and they'll witness to people, and they'll face different things. Above all, they should continue, no matter what, preaching the Word of God. There will be times when there will be confusion, but they should continue preaching the Word of God. God will one day judge those who are false, those who say they're Christians but they're not. You might say that in America, there's not that many, but in other countries there are. In reality, we can find many people, or in countries, they can find, they try to looking for Christians, so they would find out secretly where these Christians are. They secretly go in, and they would lie to the Christians about joining the church, but later they would tell the authorities, and the church will be separated or destroyed. And mostly this is happening in communist countries. And there's missionaries, they go over there in these countries, and they cannot say they're establishing churches, but rather they can teach English and have Bible studies. But they can't say they have churches. They can't establish churches. But they can't, it's very hard to sneak in, but they have to be very quiet. I have a friend here who went as a missionary to China. He cannot put down on his resume that or on his papers that he's a missionary to China, but rather he cannot really update or anything like that. Technology here, in that country, in China, it's very hard. It's very hard. You have to be very quiet about what you do. There's another missionary. Pastor Messer really supports some Christians in Yemen. Here at the church, sometimes Pastor Messer will talk about Yemen, and he'll ask the technicians to turn off the internet or connection, and he'll talk to the church about missionaries about Yemen, and then he'll allow the internet to come back on, and it's there to protect the missionaries, so that the authorities won't hurt the missionaries or anything in Yemen. You have to be very careful there. You have to hide your face. There's some teachers from this church who have gone to Yemen, like they taught some of the deaf, the handicapped, the special needs, and they taught about the Word of God. They have to be very careful about what they were doing. They acted the same. They tried to avoid conflict, or like they were lying or something. And really, God knows who the wheat and the tares are. He knows who the Christians, his children. He knows. Sometimes we think that a person is Christian, but really he's not. We're sometimes fooled by that. It's our responsibility in the end to preach the Word of God and keep going and serve God. Then when we die, we can go to heaven. We don't need to find out if anybody's really Christian or not. That's not our responsibility. Matthew talks about a lot of things about the future. And today it sounds like the future is coming really, really soon. So we got to get ready. Let's pray. I'd like to say that it looks like Christians and the world, they look like they're copying each other. And now you're talking about missionaries as the other way around. Missionaries,